Good morning. How is everybody doing? Okay, if you're finding me for the first time, my name is Penny. I come here a couple days a week on my lunch break. My goal is to inspire you. I hope you can listen and learn something. By the time you're done listening to me, you'd have learned something. As an average person, I'm an average person. I'm not CNN, I'm not Oprah. I've not really made it. And this is the beauty of Facebook. I love social media platforms. It allows people like us around the world, literally, to come out here and tell you what we are doing and share with you some of the little winnings we have, some of the little failures we've had. So that way we can inspire each other for us to live a life with purpose. The destination is the same. We are all going to go 6 feet under. Like I said, we are like plants. We are here for a season. We are going to live. There is none of us who's gonna stay here forever. No matter what you do, money cannot buy you anything that is going to keep you on this planet Earth. When your time comes, it's going to be your time and you're going to go. Dafas Okari, good morning. So do me a favor. When you come in, I just need 3 favors. The one favor is to share this video. The second favor is to go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The third favor is to share this video so we can reach more regular people. So if you're finding me for the first time, we've been doing this book. I had started it on my different page, but that page has a problem now. You all know how Facebook is. So I shifted to this page so that way we can all learn together, because once they make a mess on the other side, we don't want to just be disabled because they're using machines. So anyway, if you're new as a student of mine, I always recommend for you to get a pen and paper. If possible, get a pencil because you can erase. So that way you can write these questions. These questions, we were doing them to create self-awareness. Danvers, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. I'm very grateful. These questions, we started doing them like a month ago. I have prolonged them because life happens and I have so much to do. We were trying to create self-awareness. So when you know yourself, you become a better person. So get your pen and paper. Let's go. Question number 1. What does an ideal world look like to you? What does an ideal world look like to you? Do you have an idea? Do you have thoughts of how the world should look? What does it look like? Write it down. Number 2, what is the last time a smell, when is the last time a smell triggered a memory? Have you ever smelled something and it triggers a memory? My husband has shared with me that when he smells the first perfume that I used to wear, which I still have, but I don't wear it as much because I got allergies, the Red Door, when he smells the perfume, he remembers our first dates. Yeah, I probably had tolerance for it. Now I don't. With these American allergies, I cannot wear perfume. But he can smell it and tell me that's Red Door. And it reminds him of the time we met. So what is a smell that triggers your memory? You can smell the ocean. You can smell, for us in America, who came from villages where we grew vegetables, the sagas had a certain smell. The managus had a certain smell. Ask yourself that question, and what is it? Number 3, if you were a salesperson, what would you sell? If you are a salesperson, what would you sell? And this question is supposed to really help, especially those of you who are thinking to start your own businesses. Let me tell you, it is so priceless to sell something that you actually like and you consume. You don't have a problem marketing that product. You don't have a problem telling people about that product. You don't have a problem using the product. What is that one item that you would be the salesperson for comfortably? That's number 3. Number 4, is there something you don't want to be afraid of? Is there something you don't want to be afraid of? Yesterday, I saw a post where a lady had shared that fear men. So when we come to Facebook and when we get those subtitles, there is so much that goes on in our minds when we think about posts that people put on Facebook. And that's why we went to school to learn to study like a sentence and create a whole story out of it. When somebody says fear men, fear is a big word to use. When you're afraid of something, you're literally afraid. You're going to deny yourself so many opportunities. I have to say that about that. And that's why they're asking you, is there something that you don't want to be afraid of? Personally, I've always worked hard not to be afraid of people. I cannot be afraid of another human being who's living somewhere. There is nobody that I'm afraid of. Fear of human beings ended for me when I left my parents' home when I was 18, because they were feeding me and clothing me. That's when the fear ended. What is that one thing? Or what is that one person or something? Okay? You don't want to be afraid of. Don't be afraid of other human beings, because they will save you. Number 5. What is something you'll do anything to get? A lot of us will do anything to get our health. What is something you would do anything to get? Health is something that people are always willing to pay anything to feel good. Okay, number 6. What is something you always don't know that you never did before? What is something you always do? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. English is bad. This is a language. Come slowly. Number 6. Let me read it properly. I'm reading words backwards. What is something you always do now that you never did before? What is something you always do now that you never did before? That's number 6. Last week I told you guys that there's a time in my life I used to be the sacrificer, if there's a word like that. I used to be that person that used to be sacrificing for people. I changed that. Nowadays, I'm the altar. I'm waiting for people to sacrifice for me. What is something you always, you do now that you never did before? I used to make a lot of sacrifices. Nowadays, it does not even matter who I'm talking about. There are sacrifices I'm not willing to make. And I'm so happy. I'm in a very good space. I'm 50 years old and I'm not willing to sacrifice certain things. I will say no. I'll do what I can, but I'm not sacrificing. I'm not going above and beyond. I used to go above and beyond. It's over for me. Number 7. If you could invent anything, what would it be? If you could invent anything that you can create, what could it be? Think about your day-to-day life. Think about where you are. What is that one thing, if you had a chance, you can invent? Okay? Number 8. Let me turn this phone on. Number 8. Do you know someone who is the best spouse? Do you know someone who is the best spouse? Somebody that you know that is the best spouse. And I'm always very, very proud to tell you guys, I've been married to a man that I think is the best spouse. He's 29 years. Yes, he has challenges. Yes, I have challenges. But my husband is the best spouse. I was talking to a friend of mine who's also married. And she was going through a challenge. And you know how women, we go through challenges and we call each other. And she described the problem. And then, there are times as women, we encourage each other. Yeah, when the kids grow, it's lies. But, that's how we soothe ourselves. That, we're just going to go and just leave these guys. Women like to do that. For us, it's therapeutical to think that one day you're going to leave this man and go. Right? Kind of feels great. And before we finished talking, I said, really, think about it. Have you seen a man out there that you think that could have made a better spouse, a better husband? Like, do you know an actual person? You know, maybe if you dated or people you know that you look and be like, that one would have made a better spouse. Her answer was no. She didn't even think much. Because she was saying, yes, as much as I'm complaining now, I still believe I got the best man. Because, you know, there is more positives than negatives. So it could be your mom. So they're asking you, because what we are lacking nowadays is what can I call them? The couples that can encourage other people. What is the right word to call them? Mentor. Couples that can mentor the young people that are coming behind. I'm doing year 29. My friend I was talking to is on year, I think, 15 or 14. Some of you are doing year 5. Some of you are doing months. Some of you just got married. We don't have those spouses that can come and sit with you and give you advice and guide you. This question is for you, especially if you're getting into marriage. Some of us, we have graduated and we have been grandfathered in with the people that we are married to. If my husband decided to marry a second wife today, we are all going in. The age difference between me and my husband is 3 years. If a new wife is coming, she's inheriting me and 4 children and all the dogs and the shenanigans that come with me. It's kind of like we are on our last phase of planet on Earth, like on planet Earth. So we are not going to just walk away. No, some of us are beyond walking away. Our children are grown; they have beards. Our children, are starting their own families. We are not going anywhere. We are stable. On year 29, 30, you've been with the same person. You've taken the roots. Your roots are deeper. This question is asked to help those people who are starting. Find that couple. In fact, if my husband and I sit to tell you some of the things we've been through, you will even just be shocked because you're going to go through the same things. Unfortunately, we used to do that show every Sunday. We are not doing it because of work, but we hope to get back. So because we are willing to tell you what we learned, the do's and don'ts. Okay, number 9. If you could live someone else's life, who would that be? That's a tough one. Who do you look out there and you admire their life? If you could live someone else's life, who could that be? Think about that, and if it's possible, let it be someone that you know. And if it's possible, reach out to that person, let that person help you through life. Because you know what? When you see what I do and you like what I do, come to me. I'll walk you through what I do. Number 10. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? In 20 years, Jesus Christ, I'm going to be 70. Add 20 years to your life. Where do you see yourself in 20 years from now? We are done a 10-year before. If you've been with me through the other page, we did a 5-year before. We did a 1 year before. We did months. Where are you seeing yourself? We started with today. Where do you see yourself today at the end of the day? Where do you see yourself tomorrow? Where do you see yourself on Friday? Where do you see yourself in 2 weeks? Where do you see yourself in 3 weeks? Where do you see yourself in a month? Where do you see yourself in 2 months? Keep adding. Where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 2 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Be grateful for social media. Use social media properly. Because you know what? It's people like us who are living a normal life. We are struggling through life that you can learn a lot of things from because we can actually meet. But the Oprahs, the CNN, all those people that you see who have producers to produce their show, to put it together for you, it's hard for them to come and tell you what it is because they've made it. Some of us who are out here, we've not made it. We are trying to make it. And that is the beauty of social media. You can learn from regular people. Use social media properly. And the young people, I want to talk to you. There is a power. I was speaking to my daughter this morning. There is power in words. Young people, there is power in words. There is power in what you say. For me, from the beginning, I disliked my mom calling me the devil, or calling me Saitani, or calling me Engombe, or calling me a donkey. I disliked being called names when we were growing up. Number two, I disliked my mom going off for no explained reason. I just never saw the reason for her to go off. I disliked that my father would come and just cause chaos. There's culture and there's religion. Two things that put us in spaces where we are not able to do certain things or express ourselves. But there is power in words. There is power. What you say can make you or break you. How you talk to people can make you or break you. There are people I have consciously decided I do not want to have a conversation with them. I'm not going to give them 5 minutes, because every time you talk to them, it's the F word, it's negativity. How you're going to spend your time with these people is going to determine where your future is going. There is power in what you say. There is power in how you address people. There is power on how you address conflict when you are in disagreement with someone. Ask yourself before you say something what you're going to achieve. All the 29 years, I take pride and I tell our children they're in that house. All the 29 years I've been with my husband, I've never called him a name. He has never called me a name. Do we have conflicts? Yes. Always, anybody focus on the conflict. Name calling doesn't get you anywhere. Abusing people doesn't get you anywhere. Saying things you can't take back to your children cannot take you anywhere. If you're breaking up in a relationship because you're not in agreement with the other person, remember that's the father to your children. Remember that's the mother to your children. Things don't just change overnight. There is a lot of mental health issues going on with the young people now, because mothers want to tell their children their father is bad. Fathers want to tell their children their mothers are bad. Things that never used to happen before. Be mindful how you're using your words. Be mindful when you're having a conversation with someone. What are you going to say? And that's why they're asking you, where do you see yourself today, at the end of today? Where do you see yourself tomorrow? Where do you see yourself at the end of the week? Where do you see yourself in 2 weeks? Where do you see yourself in a couple years from now? And where you're going to see yourself is going to depend on how you're going to use your mouth. What comes out of your mouth nowadays is not the mouth. What comes out of your thumb? Be very, very mindful of what you're bringing out there. This book is to help you create awareness. We have 2 more days for us to finish this book, and then we are going to move to another book that is really exciting. It's called The Atomic Habits, where we are going to talk about the habits that we form that make us who we are. It's the habits. I'm used to coming here to talk to you guys at this time. It's a habit. The habits, little things that add up, and they end up adding value to your life. So tune in. I think we have 2 more days and we are done. So do that. Share this video. I appreciate that. Go to YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. So that way, those people who are not on YouTube can get these videos from regular people, because anybody can access YouTube. Because when I finish talking on Facebook, I move the video over to YouTube. Okay? And share this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you listened. I hope you learned one or two things that are going to help you to live a life with purpose, to build good, healthy relationships that are going to add value to your life. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the day. Monday is the day to set goals, write those goals, and review them on Friday. Cheers.